get started. And let me mute out our guests. Hold on just a second. All right. Everybody should be able to hear me. Good Saturday morning to everybody. My name is Suzi Jackson. I'm a Platinum Elite. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I'm really excited to be doing this call today because I just love helping people. I love assisting people, and I love seeing people be successful. So first of all, let me just say that I don't know everything, and whatever I go over today, if your upline is teaching you something different, then stick with them. But I know there's going to be all types of people on the call today. Some of you are professionals, some of you are just getting started, some of you are waiting to get started. So there's going to be all different types of people here. And I hope that there'll be at least one nugget that you can take from this. And that's really what it's all about, is getting to the next level of what you want. So I hope you will take some notes today and look for that one nugget. I also hope that you will listen to this recording multiple times and that you will feel comfortable sharing it with the people that join your team, because it'll save you a lot of time if you let me do the work for you. All right, well, let's get started. That's always the most important part. And sometimes the slides don't want to move. But anyway, so here's a great quote. Now, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to be great. All right? So I've been in all the different places that you can be. I've had negative attitudes, I've been unteachable, I've been successful, I've been unsuccessful. And as I said, I certainly don't have all the answers, and we can all learn from each other. And the most important thing is that you all are here today to learn. So let's take some notes. So this is what we're going to be covering in the presentation today. We're going to go over some, what I call the first things first, which is basically just some basic housekeeping kind of things. And then we're going to talk about mindset. Mindset is perhaps one of the most important things that we will talk about today. And I'm going to be giving you some ideas on how to think your way to success, okay? As a friend of mine who's actually on this call today posted on Facebook this morning, she stole my quote. There's two types of people out there: the people that think they can and the people that think they can't, and they're both right. So if you think you can, we're going to be feeding that today. And if you think you can't, then we hope to persuade you, because you all already possess amazing talents. And if you don't know that, it's just that you have yet to discover those. I remember when I first got in the business, I've made all kinds of mistakes. But anyway, I did not think that I was a teacher. But then I said, when have I tried? And I never tried. Well, I have learned to bring out my inner teacher in me. And this is really a teaching business. So you can have these false beliefs about yourself. Sometimes people will say, well, I'm not good at sales and I'm not good at talking to people. No, you just haven't learned how, but you can learn how. And so we're going to talk about that today. Then we're going to go over 7 steps to 7 figures. And I actually put together a CD on this when I was in another company. And I know that this absolutely works because those who do can teach, okay? If you don't do, then you can't teach. And when you do and you have success, then you obviously know that something works. So I'm going to kind of share with you an abbreviated version of that. Now, to kind of get us started thinking in the right direction, I want to share a little story with you, because I think I had told some people that, when I had my big success, it was actually the 3rd company that I had enrolled with. Now, the other 2 companies, I did not have any success. So when I looked at company number 3, it was very painful for me, okay? Now look at my fingers. I believed in the company, I believed in the products, I believed in the industry, I believed in my sponsor, but I did not believe in me. So I did some very simple math, okay? And here's the math. I believed in 4 out of the 5. So there was only one thing I didn't believe in, and that was me. So I thought, well, I'll just go with the things that I believe in. And so I had a great mentor who taught me some steps to do. At one time, I was not teachable, and that's why I didn't have success. But when I learned these 7 steps to 7 figures, everything changed. And I went from being, let's just say, unsuccessful to being over $1 million earner in this industry. So I know it can happen for people if you want to win and if you have the desire to succeed. Then we're going to talk about Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll talk about, because those are actually gold mines, and I want to teach you just a teeny tiny bit that I know that I'm having success. So if you even know even more, you'll have even more success on those social media venues. Then we're going to talk about how facts tell, but stories sell, and how people feel your energy. You know, sometimes they don't necessarily listen to what you say, but they're listening to how you say it. And do you believe in what you say? And if you tell a story, of course you're going to believe in it because you know it to be true. Anyway, they can be very powerful. We don't want to be trying to sell people because that's a turnoff for people. Now, some people think this is kind of squishy stuff, but I always lead with love. I didn't used to lead with love. I used to lead with self-love. And what that meant was I felt like I had to get people into my business because I wanted to be successful. Well, I converted to a heart-based entrepreneur. So my mission is to bless people's lives, to help people, to be a blessing to them. And so that comes across, even though I may not use those words, that comes across in everything. I try to have it come across in everything that I say and do. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about plugging into events. We're going to talk about a November to remember. Hopefully you have been reading the emails about the amazing bonuses that the company is introducing, and it's really something for all of us to strive for. And I really want some people on this call, on this Zoom, to be our winners, and then we'll talk about our next event and we'll have our giveaway. All right, so let's talk about our first things first. So many of you, I don't know if you're on SmartShip or not, okay? But that's the first thing that you want to do with yourself and with all your new people. Okay, this is how we create residual income. And if you don't get your people on SmartShip, you set the example, then you're going to have to do double, sometimes triple work, because you're going to enroll them, then you're going to have to go back 30 days and sell them again and sell them again and sell them again. So what you want to do is set them up on SmartShip, and you can explain the benefits to them about how they'll never run out, they'll have the best results, and how this sets them up to qualify for the maximum amount of commissions, and how our goal is really to only have them pay for their very first order and for all their SmartShips to come from their income that they are generating in the business. So I highly recommend that. And I really don't want to work with anybody that's not on SmartShip, because if they're not on SmartShip, they're telling me that they're not committed. All right. Number 2, you want to set up your holding tank, and you can look at that on your back office. It's over to the right in the back. And what that does is, as new people come into your business, it holds them in that tank until you decide if you want them on your left or on your right. I don't have time to get into all of that today. Your sponsor can certainly, or your upline can certainly guide you on that. But in the beginning, you want to control where people go, because you want to balance those legs as much as possible. You must be using the products, and use as many as you can, because you want to build your experience and you want to gather testimonials. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of fun today. I hope you will with me too. Now, some people who get in say, well, I can't build the business until I try the products. Wrong. I can't build the business until I have a story, an experience. Wrong. Okay. You can start right away. In my previous business, where I went on to be $1 million earner, I got in and I got started right away, because speed is everything in a business like this. And I just told other people's stories. You know, there's so many stories out there. I just told other people's stories. I told their money story. I told their product story. And then I had a mentor who has made a gazillion, bajillion dollars in network marketing. And guess what? She never had a story. And it was really her presence that really people didn't ask her about her story. They were more concerned about what she could do for them. So they didn't even ask her. But if somebody did ask her, then what she would say is, you know what? I feel good. I sleep good. I have plenty of energy. I've already had that. So what she would do was to tell other people's stories. So you don't have to wait. Now, somebody could say to me, well, Susie, let's just say I didn't have a story and I'm just getting started. And somebody says, and they do say to me, you know, well, how's it working for you? So I would respond like this, say, you know what? I'm just getting started. And so far I've only ordered one of the products, but you're not going to believe this. I am working with the most amazing mentor. And she has earned millions in this industry, and she's teaching me how to build this business. And guess what? She could teach you too. Okay? So there's an obstacle, there's an answer for every obstacle. Now, if you have your story, that is great. But it may take you a while to get a story. Let's just say you try one product and you don't have a life-changing experience. And then you say, okay, well, I can't do this. Well, of course you can do it. You haven't tried the rest of the products. Now, when I enroll people, I try to get them enrolled with the executive pack. It's a better duplication model, and it gives them more products. And I can almost guarantee that everyone is going to have a story if they have that quantum card, okay? Because it just accentuates all the other products. So set yourself up for success and don't get into some of this false thinking. All right, make sure that you join whatever team you're on, their Facebook page, so you can stay connected, you can hear stories, you can learn, you can engage. Now, you all have downloaded Zoom because that's why you're here, but your new people probably haven't. So make sure that they go ahead and do that so they won't run into problems when they come on our events. Calendar the events. You want to be committed to coming to the events. This is where you're going to build your belief. This is where you're going to get your fire. This is where you can connect other people so you don't have to do the heavy lifting. I'm doing the heavy lifting today. You just have to sit there and take notes and get people on. So that's great. Now, while your new people are waiting for their product, once they get enrolled, get them to start familiarizing themselves with their websites, how to log in, and they can review the comp plan. I've actually put together a recording of the comp plan, so you don't even have to train your people. And so this is something that your people can be doing that is proactive while they're waiting on their product, because you know what? We don't want them spending a lot of time in things that are not income generating, because we want to help them make income as fast as possible. All right, now, as I said, mindset is probably the most important thing that to the success of your business. All right, so I'm going to spend a little time here. The first thing I want to talk about is you have to know what you have here. All right, this company has paid out millions and millions of dollars in commissions. This company has products that absolutely work. This company has a very unique and powerful technology. And they're actually not the first, but they are the best. They have the most advanced quantum resonance technology, and they are committed to innovation. So that means that they're committed to getting better every single solitary day. And we have a wonderful leader in Jeff Cohen. You know, Jeff is kind of a soft-spoken guy, but I'm telling you what, he is doggedly determined for this to be a billion-dollar company. And so is Danny. I've spent some time with Danny, and I just love that guy. I mean, he's fierce, he's bold, he's knowledgeable, and he is helping us with our sales. And there's just so many great things in the works. So we have a lot here, and especially with the hemp oil business, that industry is currently sitting at 1.3 billion. And if anybody tells you that the market is saturated, they are crazy, because it's expected to reach 16 billion by the year 2025. And we knew that entering this space as a company, that we were going to have to be bigger, better. We were going to have to show the world something it had never seen before, and we were going to have to do something and be the first. And that's what we have with quantum hemp. So this is amazing. And the products here are so demonstratable. That's what caused me to join the company. I was retired, but when I saw how quickly they worked, I was like, man, anybody can make money with this because the products work, and sometimes they work so fast. And lastly, what I'm going to share with you is that this is the most lucrative compensation plan that I have ever seen. And I tell people, especially networkers, I say, I know a lot of people say that. I said, but I'm serious. I said, we have a way, just one aspect of our plan, where you could earn a $5,000 a month lifestyle bonus. I have never seen that before. So you have to know that you have a gold mine here, and what you've got to be willing to do is bring your shovel and do the digging. Okay, and you can't have this attitude of, this business doesn't work for me. Wrong. Actually, you're right, because this business doesn't work for you. You have to work for the business. And part of your mindset is that you have to have desire. I don't care how untalented you are, I don't care what you look like, where you're from. If you have desire, I want you. Now, if you're talented and you're fantastic looking and you know all these people, but you don't have desire, nah, don't want you on my team, okay? Because you're not going to do anything. I'll take somebody with desire over somebody with all kinds of things that look good, okay? Now, for success, you can't try the business, okay? The only thing you can do that matters is that you actually do the business, okay? There's no sitting your way to success. And success, you might want to write this down, success doesn't accept excuses. So if you tell success, well, I don't have the time, or, I just don't know anybody, success doesn't care. It doesn't allow for excuses. Now, Jim Rohn, who is a famous business philosopher, used to say that anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly until you can do it well. So technically, and this is what I've done, I have failed my way to success. And what that means is, for me, I just jump in and I just do the best I can. And if I make a mistake, then I learn from it and I tweak it the next time. So I'm just a big old tweaker, that's all I've ever done. But that's the best way to learn. There's actually a wonderful book by John Maxwell called Failing Forward. And that's the story of all these great successful people that have had great success through failure. So if you're failing right now, you're in a great place. So anyway, that's what you have to have. And I attribute my success to a strong desire and to never, 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 never giving up. I've had several people, I've even had my own sponsor here at the company who has left. They tried to poison me, and the more they tried to do that, the lower they became in my eyes, and the more determined that I became to pursue Energentics, and it has really paid off. You don't want to let anybody's unbelief ruin your belief. I know when I first got started in this industry, I had people laugh at me. I've been humiliated by people. And, I love to tell the story that had I listened to those naysayers, it would have cost me over $1 million. So don't listen to the naysayers. You also have to be self-motivated in a business like this. I hope to be inspiring you, but the only thing I can do is inspire a desire that you have. I cannot motivate you. You're either motivated to change your life, change your health, or you're not, okay? So I can't do anything about that. That's what you do. So you have to be the one to self-motivate. I'm gonna tell you a little story about self-motivation. I've started doing some videos, like video invitations, and I'm having so much fun with it. Danny is the one who gave me the idea. So I kept saying, I'm gonna do it, how we put it off, procrastinate. So Wednesday was my day. I said, okay, today I'm going to do it. Well, I ran into this obstacle and that obstacle and this obstacle. And I was like, oh man, I don't feel like doing it now. And, when I do this, I just got to be on top of the world, Wrong. So, the other reason I wanted to do it on Wednesday is I had a spot outside that I wanted to do it, and it was a beautiful sunny day. So anyway, I'd already decided I wasn't going to do it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go sit outside in that spot, and I'm just going to enjoy the sun. Then I got out there and I said, well, let me just give this a try. So I did one, and I had so much fun that I did about 4 or 5 after that. And now I'm absolutely on a roll and in love with it. But sometimes the message here is that sometimes you have to do something even though you don't have the feeling to do it, and the feeling will come. That's $1 million advice. Entrepreneurs can't afford discouragement. You just can't afford it. If you want to build a business, change your life, you cannot afford to be discouraged. You've got to motivate yourself, and you've got to put yourself in a place to succeed. I could have gone and laid on the couch or gone and done something, but I would not have been in that space that I needed to. Okay, so you have to motivate yourself. Now, I'll tell you about my rock story, and this is your mindset. So I talk to a lot of people. I happen to sponsor a lot of people. And it's because I talk to a lot of people. Now, my philosophy, and I know you want to have this philosophy, is I believe that there are people out there that want this product and want this business, okay? So if you think about all these rocks on the ground, and so every time you pick up a rock and you turn it over, you're looking for a person who wants to do the business or wants the product, okay? Now, I know with absolute certainty that there are those people under some of the rocks. Now, not all of the rocks, but some of the rocks. And some people tell this story with oysters, and a pearl being in it. But anyway, the point is that I'm willing, because I have desire, because I have belief, because I know they're out there, to turn over rock after rock after rock after rock after rock. Now, when I turn over a rock and they're a naysayer or they're not interested or the timing's not good, I don't sit there and argue with them and say, well, why isn't the timing good? Well, how can we make the timing good? Or why aren't you? I don't even do that, because you know what? I just go on to the next rock. And so I'm just turning over rocks. And that's the mindset that you want to have. You just keep turning over rocks, turning over rocks. And there's something called, I guess I would call it the attraction factor. When you believe, good things will happen to you. If you don't believe, you're kind of like blocking the good things from coming to you. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. Okay, next you want to feed your belief. That's why these calls and Zooms are so important. There's all kinds of naysayers, and you just don't want to listen to them. I always said to myself, they don't know what I know, so I'm not gonna adapt whatever their thought process is. So, our belief is fed by the books that we read, the people that we hang out with, and the events that we attend. So I like new people to get started reading something on the industry right away. This is the first book that I ever read. It's called The 45-Second Presentation Book That Will Change Your Life, because literally you can do a presentation to somebody in 45 seconds and it will change your life. So you just read the first 4 chapters and it's life-changing, okay? And then it tells you what network marketing is and what it's not, because most people really have no idea what it is they're doing. Another great book is called Go Pro. Now, it's all right here in a book, so you just have to read it, all right? They're excellent. And you attend the trainings, you attend the events, and you read other books. I read Jim Rohn books, I read John Maxwell books. I'm constantly feeding my belief, because I want to feed my desire and my mind, because what you think, you bring about, okay? So that's going to cause me to get into action. So, and then you want to be around the people that are going for it in life. That's the people, because they're going to inspire you. You don't want to be around the, I hate to say deadbeats, but the negative kind of people. All right, and you have to adapt the attitude that some will, some won't, so what next? And that's like the analogy of turning over the rocks. And you just have to get over the fact that people are going to say no, People aren't going to call you back. People aren't going to do this. But you know what? They do that in every business. This is no different for them. And there are a gazillion reasons that people won't get involved. You know, most people won't, to tell you the truth. Most people don't want to change their life. They want to sit around and whine and complain. And they're usually broke. But, you know, again, if they don't have the desire, I can't give it to them. All right? So just know that when you're talking to people. And I want you to keep your power when you're talking to people. You never want to sound desperate. And the best way to approach people is to ask a question. So when you tell people things, they back up. When you ask people things, they move towards you. And that's what you want to do, is to draw people towards you. I'll go over a little bit more of that. Now, turning over these rocks and talking to people, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's why the company pays us the big bucks, because we're willing to turn over the rocks. So whoever turns over the most rocks wins. And they're going to pay us handsomely. Okay, so it is definitely something that is worth your time. All right, so let's now get into the 7 steps to success. I guess before that, we're going to go over this quote. Jim Rohn said, if you are not willing to risk the usual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. And I'm just assuming that if you're on this call today, you don't want to settle for the ordinary. I remember I got into this industry because I was in the corporate world for 19 years, 18 years, and I was tired of building somebody else's dream. I was tired of you know, making all these sacrifices for somebody else's dream. I had another life I wanted, and that's what drove me. And I want to tell you that when I got with my company and infused these 7 steps, I made enough money to compensate for my entire corporate salary in 15 months working from home. That's the power of what we have with these steps, the power of network marketing and the power of leverage. So you just think about that. 15 months working part-time from home, I was able to create an income that was larger than my corporate salary that had taken me 18 years. Okay, that's pretty powerful. All right, so let's talk about the 7 figures. And I'm going to go over this kind of quickly because, okay. So I'm looking at our time. So the first thing is your why. That is a desire. All right. So let's just say this. If you're not doing anything, then it's your belief and it's probably your why. Okay. Now let me tell you how you know you have the right why. Because you act. It motivates you. You know, if you say, well, I just want to get out of debt, to me, that's not really a motivating thing. What is the exact pain? You know, I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of telling my kids I can't have this. I'm tired of having to tell myself I can't have that. You know, whatever it is, but you want to develop a why, write it down on paper that you feel it and that it motivates you and you feel, I have got to have that. That's how you write an appropriate why. You want to set some goals. You want to talk to 2 to 10 people a day. I don't care what the number is. This is your business. You pick. You know, we're talking about earning a 7-figure income, but you may not want to earn a 7-figure income, and that's absolutely fine. You just set yourself a low goal on the number of people that you're going to talk to, okay? Because how many people you talk to is going to be commensurate with how much money you make. So it's completely up to you. But you want to get qualified right as fast as possible. You want to get 1 person on your left and 1 person on your right, and you want to help you and your people get in profit in less than 30 days. I teach my team the 2x2 bonus system. So we try to get people enrolled with that executive pack. And when we do that, you can learn about the 2x2 bonus in your back office. But bottom line is you'll create a $400 profit in 30 days, and that will more than pay for your investment. So I try to duplicate that. All right, you want to have a prospect list. I mean, this is your inventory. I mean, as I said, we get paid for talking to people. I have a memory jogger that I can send out if you'll remind me. I will get that out, but it'll help you make a long list. You can talk to anybody. And if you're on my team, or even if you're not on, I mean, I can teach you how to talk to anybody. Humility goes a long way. I mean, just people say, oh, well, I haven't talked to so-and-so in so long. I can't call them. Wrong. You can talk to them, and it can be as simple as this. Hey, so-and-so, listen, we haven't talked in a while, and, I hope that you and your family are doing well, but I just had to reach out to you on the off chance that what I'm doing could make a difference in your life. If I could show you a way that, you could get out of debt, or a way that you could create some income for your family, or a way that you could feel the best you've ever felt, would that be something that you'd be interested in? I mean, you can talk to anybody. You can talk to anybody. One thing else I want to talk about, the prospect list. I cannot stand it when people say, I have no one to talk to. We're going to talk about Facebook in just a minute, but the people are out there. I promise you. It's like they drop from the sky when you believe. My husband and I were having dinner at a restaurant last Saturday evening, and we were sitting at the counter having dinner. And I always try to make a friend everywhere I go, meaning I smile and I see if they're engaging, if we can have an exchange, that's great. So I did that with this couple, and they were sitting right beside us. And so we were doing our thing, they were doing their thing. And then all of a sudden I heard her talk about CBD. And I just turned to her because I'd already made a little friendly with her, so I'm not like some kind of crazy person. And I said, I think did I hear you talking about CBD? Anyway, long story short, we went into a conversation. She started telling me her problems, and one of her problems was she had had lung cancer surgery, and she'd had it on the side of her body, and she was having some pain. So anyway, I started telling her about our hemp, started telling her about our technology. And of course, I had my what with me? I have my quantum card, so I told her about that. Honestly, they looked at me like I had two heads. I mean, but I didn't let that stop me. I said, I know it sounds crazy, but blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know what? Just hold this in that spot that hurts. And the husband kind of looked at me like, what in the heck is this? I said, just put it on there. And then I went back to what I was doing. They went back to what they were doing. And then a few minutes later, she said, you know what? That helped. That helped. Anyway, long story short, she's going to get the product. It's amazing. I mean, the people, if you just listen to people, they are everywhere. And even on Facebook, just read what they're saying, listen to their problems, and you can offer a solution. Number four is to use an invitation. I'm going to tell you, if I didn't lose my notes, a couple of my favorite invitations. Here it is. Just to give you something to get started on, but this is kind of like my favorite part. All right. So, and an invitation is just that. It's always a question. It's always a question. So if you're talking to somebody in your warm market, a friend, then you could say something as simple as this. If there was a way for you and I to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, would you be open to that? Most people will say absolutely. Okay, and that's I've used that over the years many, many, many times. So if there was a way for you and I to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun, put that in there, and have a lot of fun, would you be open to that? And then we're going to follow that up with a tool, which we're going to talk about next. Here's another one that people like. And this is for a lot of men and business-minded people. Do you at all, you got to say this right, do you at all keep your options open to make money outside of what you're currently doing? Most people are going to say yes. Okay, and then we're going to get a tool. Great, I want to share something with you that I'm doing. And so you're going to send them a tool. And then here's another one. This is really appropriate for the hemp. So Mary, hey, I just wanted to, a little chit chat, and say, hey, listen, the reason I'm calling, or I wanted to give you a quick call, you're probably aware of the great CBD hemp boom that's going on, aren't you? And let them say yes. And then you can say, well, I have found a company that is just now launching. As a matter of fact, it's only been about 2 weeks, a category creating first to market hemp product that will be a game changer. If I sent you some information, would you take a serious look? So you can come up, we could do this all day long, but the bottom line is it's questions, and then we move to number 5, which is a tool that does the work. We're trying to show people how simple this business is and how duplicatable it is. So I have an email that I send people that kind of goes over all the products, and then I have that email from the company that says Game Changer that I send about the hemp. So as you set up a business plan with your sponsor, you know, and go over all these things, one of the things that you might consider doing is a private launch where your sponsor or your upline could do an opportunity meeting just for you on Zoom. And it could be 2 people, 1 people, 10 people, 100 people. And that would really be an exciting way to get you launched. You can invite people to the Tuesday night opportunity presentation. You can use a video, you can use an email, you can use anything except you, okay? You do not want to be the tool, because if you're the tool, then people think they have to do what you just did. So you do not want to be the expert. You want to be point, point, and point. Number 6 is after they've looked at the tool and you do a follow-up and you found out that they're interested, you want to get them connected to your upline as fast as possible. Now, this is my secret. This is what I did to create $1 million income, because I had no belief in myself. I was afraid somebody was going to ask me a question, and I was just going to bomb it after I'd done all that work to get them to look at the tool, and now I'm going to bomb it. That's what I was afraid of. Oh my gosh, you got to meet my sponsor. She's this, she's that, she's amazing, she's fun. And I just got them on the phone with her just so fast. And then that's kind of how I built, that's not kind of, it's how I built my confidence. I listened to her talk to my prospects. And then that's how I learned how to overcome objection, answer questions, and then number 7, to get people to make a decision. They're in, they're out, they're going to do the business, or they're going to use the product. So that's what I did. Now, what all this should look like, and I know I'm going over this kind of fast, this is at the bottom line there, that is the system. This is what the duplication model is that you extend an invitation, you present with a tool, either in person or you send it, you decide how you're going to send it, because you're going to look at your prospects as to whether they're in town or out of town. Some people you're going to text, some people you're going to email, or some people you're going to go meet one-on-one. Okay, you can do everything. But you strategize with your upline on how to do all this. Then you're going to, third step is follow up, then you're going to connect them upline, and then you're going to enroll them. So at any time in the process, you should always know where you are with people. I use a follow-up system, and it looks like this. You can see all the people that I'm talking to, okay? And this is what this is. This is from Staples, all right? It's an activity log. That means you're doing something. So I put down there all the people that I'm talking to, when I talk to them, what I did, when I need to follow up. And if the timing's not right, I will highlight them in blue, see, if I want to go back to them. If I really think they're good, I'm gonna go back to them. But if, you know, I get an icky feeling or something like that, I say, oh, bye-bye. So anyway, you got to have a follow-up system as well. So let's talk about this real quick. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, let me just say it is a gold mine, okay? And some people are afraid of it if they haven't used it. People are making gazillion, bajillion dollars on Facebook, okay? And teaching Facebook, because it is a gold mine. This is where the people are today. You want to know where all the people are? If they're under the rocks, this is where they are. They're on Facebook. So you want to get on here, and I try to add about 5 people a day to my friends list. And so, you know, on Facebook, they'll have a little thing that says people you may know. And so what I do is I look for people that I have a lot of friends in common with, because if we have a lot of friends in common, they're more likely to accept my friendship. Okay, so that's the first thing I do. Second thing I do is I look to see if they're active. Like if they haven't had a post since 2017, nah, not going to do it. But if they're active, and then I look at how many friends they have. And, you know, I like people to have at least 500, because I feel like they have a decent sphere of influence. So I do that. That's how I meet new people. I develop relationships with people. I do not jump on them. I start a relationship. And I'll tell you another story. I just sponsored a girl from Facebook yesterday. And I friended her. She just looked like somebody that, you know, I'd want to be friends with. And wouldn't you know, the next day I friended her. The next day she made a post about PTSD. So she was asking if, you know, anybody was dealing with this, blah, blah, blah. So I private messaged her, and I said, do you have PTSD? Or do you know people who do? Anyway, that got us into a conversation, and then I was able to share with her what we're doing. And she ordered the hemp oil and she ordered the CBD. And that was one of the easiest things I've ever done. So I'm just telling you, it's a gold mine. I've got other people on there that I'm following up with too. So I want you to embrace social media. I want you to have fun with it. It really makes it easy for you to build your business and also to tell people that you can build a global business from your phone. As a matter of fact, that's another one of my invitations. If there was a way for you to build a global business right from your phone, would that be something you'd be interested in? Everybody loves that question. That's an easy one. And then you say, and you get them to a tool. I mean, we could teach 5-year-olds to do this. Okay, so let me teach you a little secret. So if you have people that are your friends, if you want to increase your visibility with them so they can see your posts that we're going to talk about here in just a minute, if you have to go, you have to go, but I have to get this information to you. What was I going to say? So, okay, so if you will comment on their posts, that will make you and your posts more visible to them. $1 million secret right there. And then that way you can be more subtle about your approach because they're going to see your post and your post can do the work. So I want you to do something every day on Facebook. Brand yourself as a positive, non-judgmental person. So don't be making posts, about negative things because you're putting other people down and da-da-da-da-da, because people won't, you won't get the attraction factor. Use the company graphics. Probably early next week in the back office, we're going to have all these amazing little GIFs, little tiny video things and vignettes and marketing materials for the hemp. So the way you access that is you go into your back office, down the line of the dashboard, click on business, and then click on marketing materials, and then you select the product that you're interested in. So there's lots of great things that you can promote on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Now, I want to tell you something else. This is a tip. Also, in your back office, if you go down to business, click on marketing tools, not marketing materials, marketing tools, and you will be able to look at your website. Now, the URL that comes up on that website, it's going to look different than the one the company sent you, but that will work on Facebook. I'm finding out that the URL that the company gave me is not working on Facebook, and it has to do with the redirect, and it has to do with a problem with Facebook. So be sure you do that so you can get people to your right page. Don't do too much. Don't do too much business. Do some business and then do some positive, happy things. What else do I want to tell you? Be a good listener, a good reader. The clues are everywhere. So we're just about done. You want to build your story or build your experience. I've given you some points on that. You'll either have a great product testimonial, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll just get the health benefits and maybe you won't feel anything. Maybe you already feel good. I don't know. But that doesn't have to stop you. Learn stories, learn other people's stories. I mean, I've gotten so many people on these products that have had phenomenal stories, and I get their testimonial. I put them on Facebook, I put them on my business page. That validates the business. And then be a good storyteller. You have to learn how to tell a story in a very short and succinct way, or you will lose people. Now, last point on this is the best answer to any question, okay, is I don't know, but let me tell you what happened to Sally. And then you tell Sally's story. But, well, how does this quantum resonance work? Well, I don't know, but let me tell you what happened to Bob. Because that's really what people are more interested in. All right, so plug into the events. We've got our Saturday trainings here every Saturday at 11 a.m. And I'm going to start a Monday business product overview. I'm going to do it for our international people. It'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got our Tuesday product overview. As a matter of fact, that's going to be this Tuesday. It will be Danny and I. And there will be lots more coming. We've got videos coming. We've got a brand new PowerPoint coming. We've got a new marketing director coming. We've got leaders from other companies joining. I mean, there's just a lot of energy here, and I want you to be a part of it. So plan to work and work your plan. And I can't emphasize this enough. Get with your upline and work out a strategy and a plan. Let them coach you on what to say. Leaders are readers, okay? So you have to be a reader. We're going to learn from other people. Calendar your efforts every day. So if the business is not working for you, it's because you're not working the business. So you can put on your calendar, you know, I call 2 people today, 3 people today, 4 people, and you can kind of see, and then you don't call anybody for a week. Well, then that's why you have no results. Put on your calendar, you put all the things on your calendar that you absolutely have to do, whether it's going to work or going to the doctor. And then you look for the holes, okay? And that's where you put your Energentics work time, all right? So there's no excuses. Everybody's got time. And I don't beg anybody. You know, people have to qualify for my time. I'm going to give them a little test and give them something to do. As a matter of fact, you have people that join your team. I would get them to listen to this. And if they don't listen to this, they're probably not committed. All right. Let's see what else I want to tell you. Don't do this alone. You do not do this alone. You have to do this in collaboration with a mentor or a sponsor. Set up your plan with your upline. Get coaching on what to say. Strategize with all your top prospects. Be teachable. And then set up a plan, whether you're going to text people, call people, email them, or do some one-on-one presentations. Me personally, I like to do it all. And then what are we going to do? We're going to rinse, lather, and repeat. This business is critical to do something, to do this in a duplicatable system for others to follow. If it's not duplicatable, you're not going to create residual income. I've enrolled people that are brand new to the industry, and they've said to me, now what do I do? And I said, or they say, I don't know what to do. I said, sure you do. I said, what did I do with you? I gave you a call, I asked you a question, I sent you a tool, I connected you to my upline, and I asked if you were ready to get started. See, I could go back to that because that's exactly what I did. And I do that on purpose because it's a show, tell, try, and do business. So just don't do any old thing because you can't duplicate any old thing. Duplication is the key. I think I told you that I like to duplicate with the executive because people are trying more products. They'll have a better testimony. Just understand that there's all kinds of people in this business. We're going to crawl with the crawlers, walk with the walkers, and run with the runners, and then stop with the stoppers, okay? I give people a lot of respect, and they know their financial status. They know their health challenges, and if they're not willing to do something about it, I'm not either, okay? I can only help those that want to be helped, that want to change their life. Follow the 7 steps to 7 figures until you're making $10,000 a month. And then if you want to change it, change it. Now, I think that you should go back to everybody that you have ever talked to. And you got to be a professional promoter in this business. And what I want you to do is go to them, and I want you to say, you are not going to believe what our company has just launched. And then you tell them a little bit, and then you get them connected to a what? A tool.
That was easy.
See? So that's what we want to do. So it's invite, connect, present, follow up.
That was easy.
Okay. Now, last thing is our holiday giveaways. Let's do this, and then we're going to end. So this is the most important thing. I've just given you the tools that everybody on this Zoom can qualify for this contest, because I just told you how to do it. It's very simple. You just do it over and over again. So you got to be on SmartShip. The company is going to double our BV for the entire month of November. You sign somebody up with a quantum pack, that's 1,000 BV going into the binary. Okay, so this is like, I mean, that's why it's called a giveaway. And I mean, Jeff is investing in us. So let's do some work. First prize is $2,000 plus a gold coin that's worth $1,625. Who wants that? You got to have a minimum. You have to sponsor a minimum of 10 people, and I've just told you how you can do that. Second prize is $1,000. You have to have 5 minimum people that you've sponsored. Third prize is $750. Sponsor a minimum of 5 people. Fourth prize, $500. Sponsor a minimum of 5 people. And then the fifth prize is $250 based on how many people you sponsor. So I hope everybody wants to go for this. This would be some fantastic money for the Christmas holidays. So that's over $6,000 that the company is giving away. All right. And so this is what I'm going to leave you with before we do our contest is, you know, I really believe this. Until you spread your wings, you have no idea how high you can fly. I just remember the days when I just was so down on myself and not believing. But you know, I had hope and I had a mentor to teach me the steps. And I just said, I'm going to do those steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I failed my way to success, but I was teachable. So I'm excited. I hope you got some value out of this. We were not quite at an hour. I'm going to stop the recording and then we are going to do the giveaway. So I hope everybody's got Tuesday night on your calendar. Stop recording.